Hello and welcome back to Chasing Trophies. And India have started the tour of Sri Lanka with the absolute bang, winning the first game by a massive margin. Thanks to Devdutt Padikkal and Manav Sutar, they were the destroyers in chief for India. An incredible performance from the team and a much needed victory. They're leading the series 1-0 right now. They have another big game to play, but we'll just talk about the game which happened. India, batting first, absolutely dominating. Then with the ball, Manav Sutar showed why he's an incredible talent, why they stuck with him. It was great to see him, bowl like that. And it shows India still has some depth when it comes to spinning all rounders. They just need to pick the right ones. But a very good performance from the team. Shubman Gill will also be very happy with the way he captained the side and the fact that the way the side performed as well. And we had contributions from Rishabh Pant, from KL Rahul to a certain extent, and from Mohammad Siraj as well with the ball, with Jadeja. Everyone did contribute. Faiz is joining me as well. Faiz, your thoughts on the first Test match?
Yeah, I think a very good statement. I think from India in Sri Lanka. I think the red ball जो criticize हो रहा था, and I think subcontinent conditions में technicality के basis पे थोड़ा भी belief है, मतलब थोड़ा भी hope है अभी. KL Rahul and Devdutt Padikkal showing us the amazing 150 partnership that they set up, and I think it was a brilliant knock, man. Devdutt Padikkal तो very exciting with the feet, back में कब खेलना है, back foot पे कब खेलना है, front foot पे कब आना है, charge कब करना है. Very calm temperament, and that gives you hope at that number 3 spot that India has been, क्या बोलते हैं, waiting for a while. There has been a hesitation. You had Karun Nair, Sai Sudarshan, and a lot of other people who've been tested out. And again, I think shout out to even Dhruv Jurel in that aspect, right? Like he hit a very good crucial 50, where suddenly wickets were following in the first innings after a certain period, and you were a little bit like, नहीं यार 400 450 मुश्किल दिख रहा है, but Dhruv Jurel अच्छे strike, though he got a chance. But yeah, I think with this performance, you can say कि भाई चलो India is in the right course now. Considering क्योंकि ऑस्ट्रेलिया भी हार गए सब, I think वहाँ पे भी थोड़ा हमारा ease of temperament है. But there are areas like you see. I wanted to get your also thoughts on Shubman Gill hai, and then Yashasvi Jaiswal first innings so we can forget, but second innings as well he wasn't able to open up as much. And if you saw, like, if Rishabh Pant didn't play that inning, now in hindsight we can say we won by 195 runs, but Rishabh Pant not playing that aggressive innings might have given Sri Lanka more time to bat. So yeah, your thoughts on that? These
Yeah,
couple
I
of
think
players.
in general, when you have performances, there will be players who don't perform, but it's just a matter of backing them. I think this is what I'm happy that these guys didn't perform, because I know that the management will back these guys, and I would also back them. I think Yashasvi Jaiswal is a super player for India in all kind of conditions. I know he struggled a bit in South Africa, but like if you see overall in England, he has 100, in Australia he has 100. He scored a lot of hundreds in India itself. I think he's a very good player, and I think they need to continue to back him. With Shubman Gill as well, I think it's his time to perform now. This period of Test cricket, the New Zealand tour, the last match in Sri Lanka, and then the Australia BGT series at home is going to be very important. I think they need runs from him from the bat, and obviously I expect more from him. But it's a matter of, like, I know that these guys will be back, and I'll back. I think Yashasvi Jaiswal, you need to continue to back him. He's going to come through a poor patch. It's not like he's not going to. But if you look at his upside, there's a lot over there. I think the way he can adjust depending on the conditions, the way he can adapt in terms of, and he has the attacking ability as well, but the defensive mindset too when required. I think the first innings he was very unlucky. That innings he was set to get 100, to be very honest with you, and we're not going to talk about it because he did get run out eventually. But I think that first inning gave me enough belief that, like,
Yeah.
he might go through a bad period, but sometimes it just doesn't work, man, and everything goes against you. But I'm happy to see at least the ones who are under pressure, they performed, like a Rishabh Pant, the way he scored the runs. To a certain extent, even Manav Sutar coming in, like, a lot of questions were on him. Will he be able to replicate what Akshar Patel did, or, like, anyone else? But he did really good, and he outshone both Jadeja and Kuldeep. The way he bowled, he was really good. He scored some runs as well in the tail, and I think overall I would like to just consider the positives. Although yes, अगर नेक्स्ट गेम में रन नहीं आते कप्तान साहब के और जायसवाल के, तो और बात बढ़ेगी. लेकिन I hope that they do get runs in the next game. And yeah, his short selection, Shubman Gill, was pretty poor in this Test match, and he got trapped in the second innings as well. Expect a bit more from him in that sense.
Yeah, I think second innings, second test में Shubman Gill particularly for me, yeah, Jaiswal, I mean, I'm still confident in his ability. I think जल्दी खेलने के चक्कर में भी कभी कभी होता है, because India had to get to 300 par, and I think the strategy was to play 2 sessions and get Sri Lanka back into bat, and I think that somewhere lost them. Well, maybe he went too early or something in his head. But I agree, like you have to back these people. You can't keep chopping and changing. Your thoughts on Manastar, the batsman, to dekhe, but the bowler, man, like, and how different is he from the Jadeja, Ashwin? Like, I know it's just been 2 Test matches, but he's already picked up a 10 wicket in the match. He picked up 2 5-wicket hauls, considering his 6 for in against Afghanistan. But this guy is different. He's flighting the ball more. So, your thoughts on Manastar?
Yeah, I think he was amazing, and I think Sri Lanka is probably the perfect place for him because in Sri
Yeah,
Lanka, if you see, it's not about getting the LBW in bowls that you see in India. Like Jadeja and Ashwin dart the ball in, they keep targeting the stumps. Ashwin also had a good record in Sri Lanka as well, but if you see, he bowled a bit differently. He would get a lot of dismissals, catch pad, and slips and everything like that. And that is what Manasutra did. He was trying to get the edge of the batsman. He was flighting it. He was giving the width as well, trying to make them stretch, trying to get the edge as well. It wasn't just about targeting the stumps because in Sri Lanka you get that extra bounce that you probably don't get in India. In India it stays a bit lower. That's why अगर आप सीधा डार्ट करे तो फिर बॉल आपको एलबीडब्ल्यू के चांसेस
okay.
ज्यादा होते हैं. यहाँ पे अगर आप देखें डार्ट करे तो वो बॉल बाउंस भी हो जाता, you can miss the stumps, and that is why he was more effective than the other spinners because he was flighting it a bit more. He was using that extra bounce to get the edge of the batsman. A back pad was coming into play as well when he was bowling. He is a bit different in terms of his trajectory. Also, when he's erring, he doesn't err on the full side of things, on the short side of things, which you saw like Chandimal, Dikwela, they were cutting him, but कभी कभी क्या हो रहा था वो extra bounce के वजह से वो cut point पे चले जा रहा था. So that
Correct.
is why even when he was erring in length, he was able to pick up wickets in this test match because of the extra bounce that he was extracting from the conditions in Sri Lanka. So I was really happy with him. And Fez Rishabh Pant as well, man. Like everyone is after him and his life. And I think under pressure, the way he played in the second innings was incredible. And in a tough situation, the way he batted, the strike rate which he showed, and the character that he showed was sensational.
100% भाई. आई थिंक पहले तो उनको आई होप जमीन मिल गई होंगी उत्तराखंड में. सबसे बड़ी चीज होती है कि उनको उत्तराखंड में जमीन मिल जाए. बट आई थिंक भाई लाइक दिस गाय what we were discussing even in the preview of this test match कि भाई just believe on himself and he has that knack भाई. like जितना भी आप like लोग बात करते हैं उनके बारे में कहीं ना कहीं I think the guy has so much confidence that he's made it up till here with that same style, and that's what you exactly needed. That 66 that he scored, I mean, like again we say कि KL Rahul and Devdutt Patel got a decent partnership I think, but wickets again Shubman Ravindra Jadeja couldn't stand tall, and then you saw Dhruv Jurel also getting out. So in that moment, Rishabh Pant coming and playing what he played, and it's just not very for you probably because you back him the most. It's not very like unusual. It's very usual for you that Rishabh Pant has done something like this. But people again they only calculate what are match winning knocks, and I think this could be considered as a match winning knock because yeah, it took India ahead in the game. It took them par 300, and again he's broken another record, fastest to get hundreds in Test cricket, 100 sixes in Test cricket with Ben Stokes, Adam Gilchrist, McCullum in 89 innings, the first Indian to do so. With all the many more records that he has, so I think like he doesn't have a lot more to prove. I think he's going to probably end up being India's best wicket-keeping batsman because I think what he's 1,000 runs behind right now, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and uh, there's no argument. Phil Wafat, there is no argument even in contention. Agar aap bolo, there is no one standing in place of Rishabh Pant, and I feel like this innings again will give him mammoth amount of confidence to just at least progress in this format. आगे white ball जब आएगा जब देखते हैं क्या होता है.
Yeah, I think that's very well said because also that he gets a lot of 90s and 50s and stuff like that, and sometimes they're not converted to hundreds, but sometimes they're not needed to be converted to hundreds because the impact of it is so much. I remember right after the Kappa series, the England came to India, and over there also he got a 95, 96. He was reverse sweeping Anderson, but at that time India were trailing, I think by 30, 40 runs, and he got them into a lead and got them to a respectable total. I think 150 was the target or something, or 200, and India got England all out. And if he didn't play that innings, India would have lost that test match as well. Even in Birmingham, India should have won that test match. But if you see, they were like 90 for 5. He came, he scored 100, and the end, India gave England a target of 375. But obviously, baseball जब भी शुरू हुआ था उन्हें बेस्ट तो फोड़ दिया था. But like he has so many innings like this where India are under pressure and he comes out and scores like a 90 or a 100, a quick fire one, and puts them in a position where India can compete or even win the test match. So I was
100%.
really happy.
100%. Also, I want to get your thoughts on the youngster from Sri Lanka. I think he got 184. Sonal Dinusha, I think he gave us a very tough time. when very young guy, 25-year-old, but bhai, with that spin attack, the way he played, technicality, reverse sweeps, flicks, everything. Sunil Dinosha.
I, yeah, I think like his shot selection was amazing. Like he has a wide array of shots, so he can
Yeah.
really put the spinner off their line, and that's what he was doing. He was taking the extra. I like the guts that he showed. He was taking the extra risk when he was playing those reverse sweeps, and his defensive ability was really good as well. So he was frustrating the bowler at all times, looking to score, looking to put the pressure back on India. अब वही करना है, right? अगर आप सिर्फ खाली डिफेंड करेंगे या सिर्फ अटैक करेंगे, वो नहीं, एक बैलेंस को आपको स्ट्राइक करना है, and he struck that balance beautifully. He wasn't letting the bowler settle in his line and length, and also at the same time, when required, he was defending the ball too. So I think he was very good. He showed a lot of grit and determination. बहुत जबरदस्त बैटिंग करा, and he could be a thorn for India in the series because already उसके दो, एक सेंचुरी आ गई, एक 80 आ गया, तो अब he's already in form, and when you're in form like that, you can sometimes it just becomes your kind of series and you continue to score runs. So he could be a thorn for India in the second test as well. Hopefully the rain stays away there. I think 23rd को शुरू हो रहा ना, तो the turnover is not too long. We have a quick turnover there, and if the rain stays away, that 5 days in Colombo is going to be very, very important, and hopefully India win the series because it's going to be very important in the context of the WTC.
Yeah, man. I mean, India is very close now because they have only they have to win all 8, and in that they have just 9 test matches. So anything gets washed away or anything gets, discontinued, let's just say for whatever reason, it'll be very big. And then we have against on across the, continents, we have Australia also, who's sort of diminishing against the Bangladesh team. So I think वहाँ पे just make most of whatever pressure that you can add by keep winning. So Australia also has something on their heads to think about, that India is rising through the ranks, and yeah, 100% quick turnaround. Also wanted to just shout out, honestly, we give him a lot of stick, but Prasidh Krishna in the second innings, I think he
Yeah,
bowled
he's very good. Yeah.
short length is good length and just short of a good length. Yeah, short, अच्छा maintain करते, driving it away from the lefties, getting those edges. I think he had a very good time with the ball as well. And yeah, I mean, for Sri Lanka again, Mustafa, the top order not clicking, man. I think you could call it a short selection, you could call it whatever you want, but maybe वहाँ पे थोड़े runs बहुत जरूरी है for the Sri Lankan people, like for a team.
Yeah, I think you need to get off to good starts. अगर आप पहले 3-4 विकेट खो दे रहे तो फिर बहुत प्रेशर आ जाता मिडिल ऑर्डर पे, and middle order has shown that they're capable of scoring runs. So if you can give them the platform, give them the way KL Rahul batted, give the particle batted, Sri Lanka need that kind of partnership with the number 1 and 2 or number 1 and 3 batsmen. It just allows them to get to a 90 for 1, 100 for 1, and then they can capitalize from there. I think the second innings, though, it was always going to be difficult because the ball started to rip, and Sri Lanka में dangerous क्या होता मालूम, जब the odd ball starts spinning, and you could see that from the second innings itself of the test match, the odd ball was spinning, and that's where they got pretty much trapped. And the toss didn't go in their favor, I'll tell you that. Like India also in their third innings, in India's second innings, they struggled to हम लोग भी क्या 190 पे all out हो गए थे eventually. So I think that also did not help Sri Lanka, that they had to bat second. Obviously, that's part of the game. They can't use that as an excuse, but you can clearly see after India batted and hit those 400 runs, the pitch started to wear, and there was, something in it for the bowlers, especially the spinners there. And yeah, I think like the way you mentioned, the fast bowlers, Prasidh Krishna, Siraj, they also, made sure that whatever they had to contribute, they contributed well. They played the side character role, but those roles are very important in these kind of test matches. And I was just looking at the table. Australia and New Zealand are also in contention for the WTC final. They're probably the favorites, but they have to play each other, and they both have to play India as well. So that is why the table becomes very interesting, and we don't know exactly. So India just need to keep winning, and sometimes, they might get some breathing space in the BGTs. For example, if they win this and then they beat New Zealand 2-0, which is going to be very difficult. But agar aap 4 match jeet jate, maybe in BGT, instead of having to win 3-4 games, maybe you have to win 2 games. You don't know what's going to happen, right? It does change because of the percentage point system and obviously the away, home and away kind of situation. So I think India need to maximize these away games, try to win as many as possible, then go into the home series and try to win over there as well. But ये भी है ना कि उल्टा अगर आप घर पे हार गए तो और पॉइंट्स आपके डिडक्ट होते हैं, तो वही देखना है कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया के डिडक्ट हो गए तो एकदम तब परेशान हो गए, तो इंडिया, the BGT will be very important. And that's the thing now with test match cricket, it's not about the series anymore, it's about every match. For example, this game, it would have been not a dead rubber, but we would say India can get away with a draw. We just need a draw to win the series. No, now we need to win the match. It's not about the series anymore, it's about winning the game. and that is
Yeah.
why it's become very interesting. But we will come back to you in the next couple of days. We'll preview the Colombo match. We'll see what's happening in the next sessions over there. But it was a great start to the tour for India. Also, I just would like to mention the preparation was much better this time around, and you can see it in the result, right? First, they came like 10 days before. They played a
Yeah.
warm-up game, practice game. वहाँ पे जो भी ये 3 दिन का गेम खेले, 3 दिन प्रैक्टिस करे, फर्क तो दिख गया आपको परफॉर्मेंसेस में एज कम्पेयर टू आयरलैंड में आप एक दिन पहले जब गए थे. So that is why it's very important to go and acclimatize to the conditions.
100%. Well, like Shubman Gill mentioned that in the press conference as well, that it's always good to know your situation. I think he mentioned one of the series where they had a warm up game, I think, and they were able to acclimatize better and just get a feel of what to, think of, like what you can expect coming in. And I think, you would have not known that, what he was saying about the open top and the breeze and all of these things if you just come one day before and try to unpack it. And might, I think, a body clock also. I know it's not a much difference of time, but just jageh ki ek used to, getting used to it and stuff. It definitely helped that Sri Lanka cricket 11 as well. That game helped us a lot, and I think from Dravid's times we've been saying this, that we need to get here 10 days before, and I think Shubman Gill has taken this initiative because I remember it happening in April that he asked the BCCI for these kind of pre-match warm-up games.
Yeah, no, 100%. And practice makes perfect. India needs to continue that. And let's see what happens in the second test match. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Faiz, as well. And make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button. Also, comment kar do video pe hamar ko help karenge wo. And make sure to stay tuned to Chasing Trophies. We'll catch you at the next episode. Take care, everybody, and bye-bye.